Welcome to ClubhouseNews.com. You're tuned in to Clubhouse News Weekend for the week ending Saturday, June 27th. I'm Jenny.
And I'm Norvell. The Supreme Court of the United States, or SCOTUS, is the highest court in the nation, and they recently saved the controversial healthcare law known as Obamacare. See, the USA's government is a system of checks and balances between three branches: the law evaluating judicial branch headed by SCOTUS, the lawmaking legislative branch led by Congress, and the law enforcing executive branch under the president. Whenever a court case is decided at a lower court, the losing party can try to appeal it to have a higher court redo the final outcome. And cases that make it all the way to SCOTUS can affect the entire nation. SCOTUS is made up of 9 judges, called justices, with 1 chief justice, and they serve for life after being nominated by the president and confirmed by the Senate. SCOTUS recently considered whether millions of people will receive health care coverage or not under President Barack Obama's landmark Affordable Care Act, which is nicknamed Obamacare. Their 63 decision focused on whether or not states would receive funding help from federal tax credits. And if they'd ruled against Obamacare, then states would have been making a mad dash for money to prevent millions of people from losing their coverage. Republican lawmakers and presidential candidates expressed disappointment, since many of them don't support the health care law. And dissenting Justice Scalia said the ruling was made with interpretive jiggery-pokery. He also made a joke that it should now be called SCOTUS Care. Obama, meanwhile, was quite pleased by the ruling.
Independence Day, also known as the 4th of July, is coming up, and that means it's time for barbecues and fireworks. But what's the true meaning behind the holiday? Independence Day is more than just the day Will Smith saved us from the aliens.
Welcome to Earth.
On July 2nd, 1776, the 13 American colonies voted to separate from Great Britain's monarchy, which ruled them from across the sea. After voting for independence, the Continental Congress adopted the Declaration of Independence, with founding father Thomas Jefferson as the principal author. On July 4th, the document was approved and our democracy was born. After a fierce military struggle in the American Revolution against Britain, the United States won its independence in 1783, with George Washington as its first president. Now, because of our government's system of checks and balances, the sacrifices of our brave veterans, and the hard work of ordinary citizens, the USA is known as a country of freedom and prosperity. There are no hard feelings with Britain either, since we're totally BFFs now. Since Independence Day is celebrated with carnivals, concerts, baseball games, family gatherings, and fireworks. If you plan on lighting some sparklers or setting off colorful explosions, play it safe with adult supervision.
Alexander Hamilton, the founding father who created our economic system and saved the USA from crushing debt after the American Revolution, will be replaced by a woman on an upcoming $10 bill. The decision has sparked controversy among the public and historians, because while most of them support the inclusion of a woman on the American bill, many think Hamilton is not the right person to demote. After all, as the creator of the very same Treasury Department that now seeks to remove his face, Hamilton, pictured here as part of a Hamilton ham, was critical in preventing America from financial collapse after it won independence from Britain. He founded the Bank of New York, became one of the top cabinet members in the newly established government under President George Washington, and successfully argued his nationalist views to form a strong central government. As the first Secretary of Treasury, he was also one of the earliest interpreters of the Constitution, the highest law in the land. He used his position and influence to become the main architect of the USA's profit-driven capitalism. Hamilton also overcame tremendous disadvantages early in life, since he was an orphan Caribbean immigrant who rose up to the greatest heights of political power through hard work and brilliance. He even has his own rap song.
The $10 founding father without a father got a lot farther by working a lot harder.
Because of this, he was a very feisty when people questioned his honor, often challenging critics to pistol duels. In fact, he died as a result of being mortally wounded by sitting Vice President Aaron Burr on July 11, 1804, during a dramatic gun duel. His face has been on the $10 bill since 1928, and the current Treasury Secretary, Jack Lew, is seeking input from people as to which woman should be the first to grace a bill in 119 years. Popular choices include First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt, civil rights activist Rosa Parks, and African-American Harriet Tubman, who rescued slaves during the Civil War and served as a Union spy for Northern forces of President Abraham Lincoln.
The future of combat is here as unmanned drones patrol the skies and hackers suit up for the age of cyber warfare. Recently, the data of about 18 million USA federal employees was breached in one of the worst hacker attacks of all time. With all this high-tech fighting, it truly feels like the age of the Terminator. The prime suspect in this hacking is China, who along with Russia is fond of stealing business and government secrets from America. This is just the latest attack from the shadows of the online underworld, following last December's Sony Pictures hacking by North Korea. The hermit kingdom of dictator Kim Jong-un wasn't pleased that Sony's action comedy, The Interview, featured Seth Rogen and James Franco as journalist assassins hired by the CIA to take out Kim. They leaked everything from celebrity emails to unreleased movies. Hacking isn't just about snagging data either, because hackers recently grounded 1,400 airplane passengers by messing with flight plan computers. No one was hurt, but 20 flights were canceled, and passengers were marooned at Warsaw Chopin Airport. As everything from cars to high-tech wearables becomes increasingly web-connected, cybersecurity experts will need to defeat hackers from taking over just about anything. It's a digital Wild West.